Hello and welcome to episode 51 of the 214 Sports Show, your home for everything North Texas DFW sports. So glad you could join us for another episode of our podcast. Getting ready to creep upon NFL season, NFL preseason just kicking off last week with the Hall of Fame game, but is now full steam ahead last night with, I believe, two games going on and more games coming on each day since subsequently after that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. My name is Joseph Duffy. I'm joined alongside TJ Krowitz and Courtney Machani, our lovely co-host as always. TJ, how are you doing first?
Doing great. Doing great. Just got my internship done. About to move back to Austin for our junior year of college. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's flown by so fast, man. I can't believe we're already technically juniors. So, Courtney, how about you?
Yeah, man. It's that Austin hustle.
Yeah, we are here indeed, creeping up to football season, kind of fading away from all the talk we've had with basketball and hockey. What a summer it's been, though. We've seen a lot of great stuff happen in DFW sports. Mavericks Western Conference Championship win, losing obviously in the finals to the Boston Celtics, but just yesterday, you saw a great win. Depending on when this is going to be posted, it's probably going to be 2 days from now. But the great win against Serbia in the Olympics. What a great matchup that was. And, Olympic basketball never really disappoints. But that really might have been one of the best Olympic games that I think I've ever seen in my life. Typically, you can't say that because a lot of games the U.S. plays are just, so lopsided. But what did y'all think about that game pretty briefly?
Yeah, I didn't see it actually because I was at my internship. But I mean, look, I was telling everybody at work, they got to make sure that the USA makes it to the finals against France and Paris. I mean, come on, France USA finals in Paris. That's huge. That's huge, huge for the world. We needed it, so I'm happy that they pulled it out because I heard they're struggling, man. They're struggling. They blew out
It
Serbia in
was
like an
bad.
expedition game earlier this month. I don't know why
Yeah, I
it was
mean,
such a struggle this time.
hey man, when you play multiple times, they take notes and you get better as you play them. I think this is the third time they played them. I could be wrong
Already.
in the span of like a month or something. It might have been
Damn.
just two.
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah,
I
it's
could be
hard to beat
wrong,
a team three times, even when you're Team USA in men's basketball. That's true.
but man, them dudes were not missing, bro. It was crazy to watch. I think they were like 15 of 29, and after three quarters shooting the three ball.
So
So
they're just the Boston Celtics, basically, is what I'm hearing. They're just
pretty
Boston
much.
Celtics.
So I mean, they
All
were
right.
clamping up too, yeah. And to add on to that, they were clamping up crazy. Their defensive scheme was pretty good. It looked like they had like 7, 8 guys on the floor sometimes. It was wild to see because we had a lot of, wild turnovers that were just,
hmm
setting the team back. We were down as much as 17 in the third quarter.
Yeah,
17.
I'm sure. Was
It
there like a
almost
lot
felt
of
like,
hero ball?
oh, in the fourth quarter, yes. And that
Yeah.
was basically the dialogue, that was going on on social media after, and they were like saying, F your team ball in the very end. Let's just let our goats in the generation go to work because, Curry
You
just
know,
took over, Embiid took over, LeBron took over, KD took over.
I I know a lot of people have been like hating on Steve Kerr for coaching this year, but I mean, I was kind of hoping to see that like West Coast. Not, I know it's not really called that technically, but that Warriors offense come to Team USA where they're rolling that, like those multiple screens, getting people open from three. I don't know if they've been doing that. It would be like sick to see like LeBron and Embiid go set a double screen for like I don't know KD or Curry, and then they go pop out and just drain an open three. I don't know if they're running the Warriors offense or not. Where's the
I
illegal
mean,
screens?
pretty much first three quarters they were running like these crazy sets, man. I'm like, bro, just do like let them cook ball. Just do that. These are the NBA players, bro. These are the best we got in the world, man. Best team potentially that's ever been built. Let them cook, bro. Fourth quarter was pretty much most of that. So players took over. Do you have any thoughts on that, Courtney? Oh man. Yeah, I mean, people can make fun of this team all they want for not blowing out teams like they thought they should, but you know what? The world is catching up. And you know what? They compare it to the dream team all they want. Teams were not like this during the 90s. Come on. International
Yeah,
ball was not like even close to the
100%.
caliber um, that it is now. These teams have gotten better. Germany obviously is better. France is clearly a powerhouse, and the Eastern European ball is just so much better as well. But can you just imagine, like, if Yugoslavia was still like a thing? If
I
all
saw that
these
tweet.
man,
Yeah, I saw that
dude,
tweet.
could you imagine just Luka teamed up with Jokic? Who else could be in that right there? Bogdanovich, who was talking,
Yeah.
he was talking so much last. I don't know if y'all
Any
saw that.
player in the NBA with like the Vich
The Vitch.
ending in their name and their last name, they're on that team.
I didn't know they like. I don't know if it was just gamesmanship, but he was barking at Melo like they had some beef in the past. I don't remember them having anything in the NBA, but oh yeah, he did. He did.
Hey, hey, this new generation thinks Melo's Lamelo Ball, so you gotta make sure you
Carmelo
say it's
Anthony.
Carmelo
Carmelo
Anthony.
Anthony. By every time he was making
It's
a three,
always
bro, he
Melo.
he was doing the same, Melo celebration, just barking at him and his son. I was like, whoa, what is Melo doing? He's been retired for like 3 years now. But yeah, Yugoslavia would be a problem, man. They would be
That's
an
funny.
absolute problem. With no further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get the show started. I'm not gonna talk about much again. Probably gonna be a light little 30-minute episode. I'm gonna start with the Texas Rangers, and I really don't know what much more can be said about these World Series champion Texas Rangers. They got to visit. They went to the White House. Yeah, they got to visit the president. Oh, what's it called? What's the address? 1600
1600 Pennsylvania
Pennsylvania
Avenue.
Avenue. I was about to say White House Avenue. I'm glad I got corrected. But yeah, great celebration. I cannot believe it took almost like a year for this celebration. I didn't know it took this long. I don't remember them always. I thought it was like in the summer a little bit, like in June, the beginning of summer. But nonetheless, pretty cool to see uh, a DFW team be in the White House celebrating a World Series championship. Sadly, not playing too much like a champion. My mom was calling me. Sadly, not playing too much like a champion. Um,
Yeah, they've gone
but
through. They almost went through two U.S. presidents of Dallas sports before we had somebody visit the White House again. So glad we got in before we had a passing of presidents and this November. So
yeah, so the Rangers close out their homestand on an awful note. Just a very sour note. Uh, really thought that they could escape with a few wins against a division foe in the Lone Star Series against the Houston Astros, but they would fall in the final game of the Lone Star Series, losing the Lone Star Trophy once again for, I believe, the seventh straight year. Could be wrong. I think it's the seventh straight year, but man,
I think it's 7-2.
yeah, you hate to see it, but that's just how it swung in the past decade with this rivalry. And so, Teach, I'll ask you first: is there any hope, period, for this Rangers team? If so, I ask this every single week. I don't even know what else to ask because it's the same team that takes one step forward and then just completely chokes in the last two games of a series. Offense disappears. How in the world can this team get any wins in this road trip to the Northeast?
I mean, they haven't been able to capitalize on road games at all this year. Throughout the entire year, they struggle on the road. So that's why these two series against Boston and Houston were so important at home, because these are two teams that are in the playoff race. Of course, the Rangers really don't have to care too much about the wild card position anymore. They're really kind of out of that, which is where Boston is. But you still want to beat that team. They're a competitive team going and trying to make the playoffs. You are too, and you're a good team at home, and you're also going to play Houston afterwards. You have to have a good series against these two teams, and they go 2-4, which is just awful. It's awful. You want to see this team at least survive a little bit before some players like Jacob DeGrom come back. It seems like he's going to come back hopefully before September. And technically, they really still are in this divisional race. If you want to count it, 5.5 games is nothing with 2 months left to play, but you got this tough schedule compared to the others. I think Seattle is going to play Detroit right now, while we're going to the Bronx, and then we're having to go play Boston on the road. We're gonna have to play Minnesota, I think, on the road too later in a week and a half or something like that. I mean, this is it's just almost impossible for this team to come back. I believe at this point, I'm not gonna, of course, shut the door on it, because that would be horrible as a fan to do. I'm still going to hold out hope for them, but this team, you have to win those home games, because now you're going on the road against tougher teams. And Houston and Seattle, they're not doing this right now. They're not going to the Bronx. They're not going to Boston. They're having easy games. I forgot who Houston's playing, but again, Seattle's playing Detroit. They're going to have a much easier schedule than us. I believe they have one of the easiest schedules heading into these last few months. So,
And man, speaking of Seattle, I don't know if you saw what happened in the game last night. These guys almost got no hit in a bullpen game and then still won. So if you want to talk about how
pitching is good,
wacky,
man.
if you want to talk about how wacky this division is, I mean, just look no further than last night, because that was a microcosm of Seattle Mariner baseball in the 2024 season. Literally could not hit the ball in a bullpen game. This was supposed to be a gimme for them. And, Mitch Haniger bailed them out, in the very late stages. And, they found a way to win it. And that was a crucial win for them against a wild card contender in Detroit, who's probably, they have no chance in that AL Central race, but it's really just, a wild card contender in them. So, it just continues to get more grim for this Rangers team. You're heading to the Northeast against the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium, a team that's finally starting to get their groove again. But at least you get to have some of your best pitchers in the starting rotation to play for you in this first series, with Cody Bradford and Nathan Eovaldi and then Andrew Heaney, who has been much better. He had a great start last time going around against Houston. So I want to ask you, Courtney, is there anything that you saw or anything that can potentially be a catalyst to the Rangers possibly catching up, or it's pretty much just, it's a season on the ropes? They were at least, 2 games out. I don't know if they hit
I think
500
they
again.
did.
They did?
They might have. Although Bombay's been doing that all year.
Oh my God. Speaking of them, hey, again, like
Well,
I said last. Oh, go ahead, TJ.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, this is kind of point where we always say one step forward, two step backs. We say this every week with this team. It, I kind of think back to the last year with this team when we were really, really struggling heading into September, and we had that home series against Minnesota. I think we lost the first two games of that series due to bullpen, and then in that last game with those baby Blues, Garcia hit that walk off home run,
Yeah.
and we're like, we're back. This team is back. This team's back. And then they immediately lose the series to Houston really badly the next series. And, you know, this is, and somehow that team that did that was able to win the World Series. I don't understand how they were able to find their way into the playoffs. They kind of stink. It was that 4-game sweep against Toronto that last season, but I mean, that's what the Rangers need. They need another 4-game sweep. They had that 4-game sweep against Chicago, which really helped them in the standings, but then they just lost it all. And again, I'm kind of pointing that Adolis Garcia home run was like the Josh Smith home run. The Josh Smith walk off in Game 1 of this series where you're playing against Houston, your arch rival late in the season, you need wins. You need to stack up wins, and you get this on the first game of the series. You expect this team to go out there and have this momentum. No, they almost get no hit the very next game. It's just over and over again. This team just doesn't know how to kind of keep momentum going. And it's the same, you think about even the World Series with the Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia walk off. The next game immediately, they stunk. They stunk the game up. I mean, it's
Hmm.
it's unbelievable. This team just doesn't really know how to carry with momentum. It seems like
Eh,
they just don't. What made their offense so good last year was this is that they were able to have like innings where they would go and score like 5-6 runs, where they would go and get consecutive hits in one inning and just keep running. They just don't do that this year. I haven't seen them go for like 5-6 runs in an inning this year for at least in a very long time. That's what they would do kind of casually last year. So
yeah, putting
that's
up
what I
those
think.
multi-run innings. It doesn't feel like they score as frequently as that time last year. Because I mean, if I can count the amount of times these dudes will start an inning with a runner on second base or runners in the corners with no outs and end up with like 1 run max this season, like I've seen it so many times. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, really. It almost felt like, you know, people say like the Rangers sold their soul for that ring last year. It's looking a little bit like that for what's going on, scoring wise this year. These guys cannot score nearly as um, frequently as they were last year. So it hurts to watch because especially in that Houston series when you really need runs to go on the board and you just can't score people from third. I'm just like, come on, man. Nathaniel Lowe, TJ knows how I felt a little bit about him sometimes, and he just doesn't have that clutch gene sometimes. And everybody can't, you can't rely on Corey Seager 24/7. Marcus Simeon has not been nearly as great offensively as he was last year. Defensively, he has been, potentially really the best defender in baseball. He's been amazing. Offensively, his game has just plummeted this year, and that really hurts when he's not even hitting from the leadoff spot anymore. That's been surrendered to Josh Smith, who has had a pretty decent season, who bailed us out along with Seager in Game 1 against Houston, which that was a game we shouldn't have won at all. That was a game that we usually have lost this season,
Yeah.
and avoided the
Absolutely.
sweep narrowly against Houston. But heading to New York, I really don't even know what to expect. Cody Bradford against Carlos Rodon in Game 1, and then Nathan Eovaldi against Garrett Cole in Game 2. This is somehow the first series we played against New York this season. I don't know how it took till August to finally play the New York Yankees. It usually doesn't take that long, but being that Boston absolutely just destroyed us literally just 2 weeks ago, and now that we're going to play New York right before we head to Fenway, we usually don't play well in Fenway.
Nope,
We usually don't play well
we
against
don't.
Boston teams, period. But, going against, them in Fenway, not a good omen for what this team is going to have to face. So I don't know what to expect. Let's just see what they can do, because technically they're still in the divisional race, which is funny. Only 5.5 games back as of Friday morning. We'll just see what happens. So moving on to the Dallas Cowboys. Right before we get to the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to do a quick little game of Weddle.
Oh, Weddle. Oh yeah, of course.
The NFL version of.
So we got to keep it on normal mode because last week we struggled a little bit, right? Who was last week?
It was like.
Who was? I can't remember. Are we gonna preview Dallas Cowboys talk?
Look at this advertising guy. I like it. Ceedee and Lamb. Ceedee, please, man. Don't forward. Don't let them bend you. Don't let them bend you. Pressure them.
We got an AFC short wide receiver. Hey,
give that man his money.
Let's focus on this first. Let's focus on the Weddle. All right. Yeah.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Oh wait.
No, it's
DJ
AFC.
Moore plays in the Bears.
Thinking. Yeah. No. I'm thinking. No, I was gonna say George Pickett's.
6'1", AFC East, AFC West. He's older than 25. It's DAV.
Thank you.
6'1", AFC West. Dang, he's 31.
Yeah, I don't know that. Got probably a single-digit number.
Probably. How old is Let me see.
Hollywood
Brown. Oh no, he's in the AFC West now.
I'm gonna say Hollywood Brown.
He's not 6'1" though. But
what about Amari Cooper?
That would work. That would work. I think that might be him.
I don't know. Isn't he reaching 30 at least? Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
My goodness, AFC North.
Yeah, we got a North player.
Younger than 30, older than 25. We got a Ravens receiver, bro.
Damn it!
Deontay moved to the Panthers. He ain't there anymore.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh god, had to learn that through my mock drafts.
Well, so let's take some of them out. So Bengals. I don't think this is Bengals because isn't T Higgins? Yeah, I think he's larger than 6'1", right? Jamar
Definitely.
Chase
he's
is
like
not
6'3".
old enough. Yeah, Tyler Boyd, he's still on the Bengals.
I think he left. I think
Did he
left.
I thought they they franchise tagged Higgins, right? We're getting to it. I think Tyler Boyd did leave. Actually, you're right.
He can't be a Steelers receiver, right?
I don't think it's a Steelers receiver, man. I was thinking only Pickens. Yeah.
No clue.
And it's not Pickens.
Zay is not older than 25.
Zay's not gonna make it. Who
else in the AFC North?
Devin Duvernay.
Sure. That's a good one. That's a good one. The Longhorn.
Is Jacksonville now?
My goodness.
I didn't even know he left Baltimore.
Poor dude.
Yeah.
It might.
They're 27.
It can't be the Browns, I guess.
It can't be the Browns. It's got to be the Steelers, Bengals, or Ravens, and I don't think it's the Bengals.
Dude, who was 27 or 28 on the Bengals? Who's a receiver?
They're 27, if that helps at all. They're 27, 6'1" wide receiver, and 11 or 10 for the number.
They be giving us these wide receiver fours, bro.
I know, man. Oh shit. Oh, he's like. I thought Tyler Boyd was 10.
I
I
could have
might. I
sworn
might
he was
just be
gone.
capping that. Yeah, he is gone.
Ever goes to die.
83. Yeah, he's 83.
Your
I remember
career's
that
over,
now.
Tyler Boyd. Welcome to Tennessee. We've been waiting for you. Has to be. I don't know any 27-year-old.
Here we go. Oh, man.
It was Zay Flowers last year. It was. Oh, it was the former Cleveland receiver, huh? What's his name? I never forget his name, bro.
People Jones. Peoples Jones.
I don't.
Peoples Jones.
Is he on? Wow, I wasn't thinking of it. I was thinking of the other guy that Cleveland was mad that he finally started cooking with the Ravens. I can't remember his name, but he doesn't have a hyphenated name.
Oh man,
I can't think of these names, man. It's
do we
over.
want to do like Zay? We'll just we have 2 more guesses. We're not gonna get it anyways. It's not.
It's not even Baltimore.
Anyways.
Okay.
It's Pittsburgh. It has to be Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh receiver who is 27 and 6'1"?
And number 10 or number 11. Man, this is a struggle. I'm not caught up with Pittsburgh. Ooh. Because Pickens is number 1. Yeah. I was about to say he's number 10. No, he's number 10, right?
Oh boy, I don't know any Pittsburgh receiver.
Who's number 11 on them, man? Who's number 11?
I'm lost.
Oh man.
We might have to tap.
Do we have the tap? Let's just tap it. Let's tap it. Yeah, this is taking too long. Pittsburgh Steelers 11. Ooh. Yeah, I forgot all about this guy, Allen Robinson.
Yeah, okay. They want us to guess Allen Robinson.
I forgot.
I haven't seen that dude make a catch since the Obama administration, bro.
I think it was him. Here, hold up. Let's see.
Was a fantasy sleeper for years.
Jefferson? It's Van Jefferson. I said as of April 2020. Bro, Google AI sucks, man. Google AI just spreads misinformation.
Van Jefferson.
Chase Claypool was number 11 like a couple of years ago. I remember that. All right.
They gave away the Big Maples number just like that.
I know.
Van Jefferson, the former Ram.
Yeah,
moving on.
Never guess Van Jefferson.
Really?
Was it like when Cooper Kupp got hurt? Didn't he go off when Kupp got? Yeah.
I wonder what happened to Robert Woods. Speaking of that, I haven't heard that name in a minute. But that old receiving core from the Rams used to really just be any man's ball game.
This is the guy who tweeted out, "Who should I sign with?" Right? What did he do? Did he tweet out like, "Whatever team gets the most likes, I'm signing with"?
They really went to the Super Bowl without Cooper Kupp. That's kind of crazy to think about. It was really just Woods, Jefferson, and Gurley who were cooking.
And Nakua. I know.
No, I'm talking about the first time against the New Orleans Saints. By the way, was that low? Was that uncalled for?
Yep. The first time, yeah.
Yeah, moving on to the Dallas Cowboys. Not going to talk too long about the Cowboys, but man, what is going on with this contract situation between Ceedee and Dak? What is? Can I rest? Can I just have one off season with my guys just being ready for the season opener? Can I please just get one time when someone gets a pay cut or just gets the money they're deserved? Why can't my team just have all guys ready, full steam ahead for the first preseason game, first opening regular season game? Why is that, TJ?
I don't know, man. I think people who are still kind of, the diehard Cowboys fans that aren't going to ever leave the team, I think they're kind of in for a rude awakening this year, man. I think they are. Because I feel like this is always an off-season problem, man. This is always off-season problems. They always have an issue in off-season where they can't re-sign somebody or they always have some kind of drama. It happens every off-season. But usually by the end of training camp, by the start of preseason, people are starting to get hype about the regular season. People are starting to get hype and thinking this is the year. This is the year that they win the division again. All this stuff. It seems like nobody is confident in this team really going far in the playoffs this year. At least, I know with the track record, it's probably not going to happen regardless. But at least people are always very confident that this team's going to go far in the playoffs. It's just not happening this year. There's no hype around this team anymore. Jerry Jones is just kind of playing like he's like it's Madden out there, like he's a Madden GM. Like, bro, like this is real life, man. Stop playing around. Stop doing this crap, man. This is serious shit, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Broke my heart seeing that Ceedee LOL tweet. I mean,
I
I
don't
know
know.
it's all a game, bro, but like, come on. Him putting the CD and Hollywood Brown banner on his Twitter and then putting LOL, quote tweeting his owner who runs his team, and then Micah also retweeting that same tweet. I think Micah did, unless I'm mistaken. I think Micah
It's
Well,
crazy.
Courtney, your thoughts? Oh,
I'm starting this. Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. Yeah.
it reminds me awfully. Oh, sorry. Yeah, pretty much. It reminds me a lot of the Zeke contract situation from like 4 years ago. Was it 4 years ago now? 5 years ago? Something like that? Crazy. It feels like just, yesterday. But
It
the fact
does.
that, do you remember the interview when he was like, when they're asking about Zeke and he's like, Zeke who? He's like, Zeke who? And I'm like, bro, read the room, dude. He is
Yeah.
the top three running back in the NFL. Puts up like 1,200, 1,300 rush yards every year with 10 plus touchdowns. Zeke who? Like, I don't understand what this dude is thinking sometimes when he says like, this contract negotiation is not urgent right now. That's what he said yesterday. It's not urgent. I don't understand the mindset behind this. We are about a month away from kickoff. A month away, and we don't have our wide receiver one signed right now. Our QB one is looking like he has no plan either. It seems like his annual, pay is rising by the day. But Dak has all the leverage. I would, suggest a pay cut, but considering that he was getting paid like pennies on his rookie contract, I see why he may want more money now. But at some point, you gotta think like, bro, we gotta move past it and just find somewhere in the middle where he can meet with these guys because they are unrelenting. He has a leverage, which is funny because he's been bailing this team out in the regular season some games, so he really has the leverage on the Jones family, if we're being honest. But please, man, just I hope this team cannot mess this up because we are a month out. It is time to get rolling for this regular season in 2024. And relating to what you were saying, TJ, I don't know why people don't think the Cowboys fans are not like the most pessimistic bunch in the world. I guess people think that Cowboys fans just think we're winning the Super Bowl always. Like, I think when we stop every team by 35, I promise you, we are more critical of this team than the people who hate us, than the ones who hate our
I
guts.
think
We
Cowboys more than the Cowboys so on so Cowboys haters. All
people don't
right.
understand. They don't
I
understand,
hate
bro.
them way more.
They
All
don't
right.
get it, man. This team
I'm like
drives us nuts.
I get all this shit for being a Cowboys fan, but I have not seen one lick of success my entire life. All right.
None.
So I mean, it's just, I don't know. I do think we were talking about this in our group chat yesterday. I do think that there has not been a fan base that has had it harder than the Cowboys fan base for the last 10 years. I think it's very true. I think those people just think that, oh my gosh, oh look at that, you're the Cowboys, you make the playoffs every year. The playoffs don't mean shit, okay? The playoffs don't mean shit. We gotta do something, man. We gotta finally do something, and we never do. We never do in the playoffs. So
There's a
at
difference
least the
between
Falcons made the Super Bowl.
There's a difference between having expectations and having, zero expectations. And we are the team that has expectations that doesn't meet them.
The Bears don't have this crap go on every offseason. We do.
Yeah. Go ahead, Courtney.
But yeah, you go, Courtney.
They're going to be a wild card team. A wild card is their ceiling, in my opinion. That's just my early prediction. We'll get to predictions more, but
maybe that's what they need. I feel like they always win the division, and that's what's causing them the playoff. Lack of success. Maybe they need to be a wild card team. Maybe they need to switch it up and be. Wait, weren't they a wild card team a couple years ago? Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's how we lost the Niners at home.
Yep.
Hey, man, if that's what was a closer game, maybe that's what we needed. A wild card game, after all, not a divisional hosting game. A wild card hosting game where we're playing against a lesser team who still we can't beat, even with the Hall of Fame QB that left them now being run by
it's
a young QB, still can't beat them, but, it is what it is.
It's like they expect to play the New Orleans Saints in the wild card round, am I right, Courtney?
That was crazy. That'll do it for episode 51 of the 214 Sports Show, talking Rangers Cowboys. We do invite you to like and subscribe in the full-length podcast on YouTube and Spotify, or we post it in its entirety at 214 Sports Show. Again, at 214 Sports Show on YouTube and Spotify. We also have Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, and also TikTok, where we post clips and reels on there. Haven't been slacking on that recently, but just to pull out those pages real quick if you want to subscribe to that as well, or follow Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at 214 Sports Show. TJ, you want to give your socials really quick?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at TJ_Kurlowitz, and then on Instagram at TJ.Kurlowitz. That's the only socials I got.
Courtney? Hey man, I can't wait to see this rebrand. This rebrand is gonna be crazy. I might make a graphic out of it. TJ, I might make a graphic out of it and post it onto our accounts. C Lives Life has changed the username to blank. I can't wait for
Thoughts?
Thoughts on the move? But you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I really do stuff on Twitter. But Joseph_Duffy99 for both Instagram and Twitter. And then posted my first TikTok in like a month. Really, I've been slacking on that. Been so busy. But at Joe_Duffy for the TikTok account. Once again, you can follow the podcast on YouTube and Spotify, where we post the full podcast in its entirety. We usually post it in the summer on Saturdays at 11 a.m. At 214 Sports Show for both. And then, of course, the same username for Instagram, TikTok, and X. That'll do it for episode 51 of the 214 Sports Show. Thank you for joining us once again. For Joseph Duffy, TJ Krowitz, and Courtney Machani, good rest of your day.